Alright boys, welcome back. I'm doing my first guide for Wuthering Waves. This one's going to be targeted towards the filthy casuals. Me, I'm not talking about free-to-play or whale. I'm talking about casual or try-hard. Filthy casual who barely plays games and you're like a fucking dad, the 9 to 5 who gets home and you do your chores and help around the house and then take care of children. And then maybe you get on for like an hour. I'm talking so casual, you don't even play for 3 hours for us. No, I'm talking play for an hour or two. That's me. As you can tell by the lighting, this is in the middle of the night. Or kids already asleep, and my girlfriend's asleep. She doesn't know I'm playing. Shh. Anyways, so probably what I'm gonna do is do some general tips and tricks. And then we're going to go through a flow state of the game, or how the game will go, into what you should be doing, slash if you have the time to do it, if you don't have the time to, what you should be doing, things you'll probably like about the game, because if you're casual, let's be real, you're not here to min-max, you're here to have fun. So things to point out that you might have fun with. Yeah, let's get started into it. So first tip I'm going to mention is this game is less of a gacha and more like fighting games, or like, I'm not going to say Dark Souls games, but games where like characters have moves and movesets, and it's not just, oh, here's my character, I can look at their abilities, where is it? I can look at their abilities and see like, oh, that's what this character does. I'll be real, any filthy casual sees this and sees a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card and is not going to go through and read all this. I can't even begin to understand how this works, right? So there's a tutorial. So this is the first trick. Many of you may know this, some of you may not. Right here. I don't know if you can see. Others say. Way the fuck over there in that corner. See where my mouse is? There's a little icon. This shows up for every character. If you click it, it'll be a tutorial on how to use that character. Is it in depth? No, not at all. It doesn't even go over things like what your outro intro skills does, how to maximize a character. No, not at all. It just gives you a brief summary of how this works. Does it explain what's doing what? No, you're gonna have to look up an actual YouTube video from some sweaty tryhard on how to actually maximize that character, how to maximize damage, yada 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 yada. I'm putting some people to sleep. But it's like a nice, quick, simple little thing. Am I gonna go through and show you the footage? No, I'm a filthy casual. I'm not gonna be bothering to get the time for that. But it is very helpful. So you at least have an idea on how to play the character. Like sand wall, right? As you can see, I keep pointing the other way. Right there, right above my health bar. You see how when I'm holding heavy attack, it's moving back and forth? That is my Dance Dance Revolution. It's like what I like to call it. In the middle of combat, I have to do that. Now what that does is something the tutorial will show you, is if you use her skill or any other ability, it'll make this ice wall, right? If you get the timer in that blue bar, it blows it up. I miss the timing because I'm yapping. Let me show it again. So if you get the timing right, boom, it blows up and does more damage. Stuff like that, simple stuff like that. This is pretty nice to know. Is it in depth? No, not at all. But we're casuals, we don't need that. So the other tip I have is certain echoes have certain skills, right? And you can look up a guide on all the best things. But this is a little tip for movement. There's an echo, right, that Encore has, and you do a quest where they show this off, but they don't really tell you, hey, this echo has 2 abilities, right? So if I just press Q, it just swings and does cool shit, right? I have to wait 16 minutes for the other one. But if I press and hold the ability, I can ride a motorcycle, and which I can show you in 5 seconds. So while we're waiting on that, here we go. So yeah, you can get a little movements thing. It is not permanent. It's gonna kick me off right here. I didn't press any buttons. It literally just kicked me off, and it has a cooldown, right? But that should speed things up, so that way you're not wasting as much time doing monotonous things like walking around. Um, Now my other tip is Loot Master. I'm not going to go into too much detail on it, but if you press this, I have to say okay. It'll mark the map. And what this does, it'll tell me if there's any chests in the area. Nice little thing. You get it from right here, the Pioneer Association. And what the Pioneer Association does is it gives you rewards based on how far you've progressed, right? Okay, so while we're talking on shops and rewards you can get, right? I'm going to go over all the shops that are available to you through the map. So right here on this teleport in Jizhou, there's 2 shops, right, that are very important for you to know. So you just hop over the edge. You have this guy right here, which has a very nice quest. You can do it to like a little mini game, which is pretty fun. I enjoy it. Which Tectone just did a tournament where you had to showcase your skills from this quest. But it actually gives stupid rewards. So this shop right here, Ganju, talk to her and pick the shop option. You got all of these rewards. You use these pieces of wood to buy. You get the pieces of woods from opening chests from exploration. So that one's very nice. We're gonna motorcycle over here, and I'm gonna show you another shop progress. It's just this dude just gives you rewards. I'll be honest. So it took me a little minute to realize what these were for, right? So this guy with the little robot. It has a cute animation. I can't show it to you. But you take these little yellow cubes that you'll find around the map and you give it to him. And so I have one and I can give it to him and the robot gets all excited. But once I get to 20, it'll give me all these rewards. So these are all the rewards I've gotten so far. As you can see, there's some summons. And it goes all the way up to 10. So I need another 40 something. I'm a filthy casual. I'm not gonna bother to get that until my like day off or something. Like my actual day off, not my day off from work that I have to spend with family. Okay, so that's that shop and that shop. There's another shop way over here. I don't know who the fuck that is. I'm not gonna accept that. Recording about YouTube video, dude. So if you go over here, there's another very nice shop. This is where you can get weapons, right? So if you talk to this dude, you can either buy him or you can make him. So right here, as you can see, he sells whole weapons, which you usually can only get from gacha, or you can craft. And here you can craft purple weapons. So as you can see, this one's purple, this is a blue one, so make sure you check before you make them. Purple, blue, purple, blue, purple, blue, you get the gist. Are they good? No, not at all. Are they useful? Yeah, sure, why not? You can run them on like a support or something. But it's nice to know that that's there. Now, there is a free 4-star weapon. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to spend the time because it takes a minute to get there. Sea of Flames. Once you do the quest, the buildings, spoilers alert, all the buildings and stuff start lifting up into the sky. Once you get to the very top, there's a free greatsword that's purple all the way at the top. That's another free one you can get. In Tiger's Maw Mine, this is one of, I don't know if everyone knows about this. There's another shop here. I can show it to you real quick. One thing I forgot to mention, the blacksmith. It has materials, right? I forgot to show it because I bought them all out. They don't cost anything. They cost just regular money. Where is it? Right here. It will give you like this kind of material, the weapon and skill materials to upgrade. You can buy a bunch from them. They'll just give you a kind of a head start. Let's head over here and I'll show you another shop. So just down from that teleport and it'll be straight up there. Let me get the grapple. We're just doing a little movement cheating. Pretending to be hardcore like I know what I'm doing, but you can tell if someone's hardcore if they know how to triple jump. I obviously can only double jump, which I'm pretty sure everyone can do. So this guy right here, he sells a purple weapon for a certain ore. This ore right here, lamplium, And you can buy also weapon skill upgrades, weapon experience. I will say I don't know exactly where all of them spawn. I only know of 25 spawn locations, but not up here. Basically, on that floor right here, this floor, I'm kind of tracing with my character. That floor has a bunch of spawns. Oh crap, wrong floor. Okay, that floor. Ignore that last thing I said. This floor right here I'm tracing. This floor has a lot of spawns, and at the very bottom, where one of the bosses of the game are, they have spawns too. So that's the location where you get the ores that I know of to farm for that shop. Again, down here, there's only about 25 a day. They respawn daily, so you'd have to keep farming them. Okay, so let's come back over here. Now I'm gonna go into summons and explain a little bit about the summons on what you kind of want to go for, especially as a casual. As a casual, where you're not sweating about being free to play or whale or whatever, I expect most people are gonna be like me, where you get the battle pass, the monthly pass, that's it. Just because they're deals. So I don't have it because I've done the summons, but you're gonna have a choice banner where it'll first 50 pulls, it'll poop out a random 5-star, and then afterwards it's going to give you a new banner, and it's going to cost 80 pulls afterwards to get a 5-star of your choice from the standard banner. So that's 130 pulls entirely. Don't worry about using these pulls. The limited banner, which is where the premium units, the premium characters that you want to be getting, they use different currencies. So don't worry about too much. Obviously, if you get lucky and get it sooner rather than later, it's better. I will say, whether you're casual or not, do not use your astrites on these standard banners. Because through history, it's been proven that standard banners will eventually just get outscaled. So in general, one copy might be nice, but you don't want to be getting like a lot of dupes of them, if that makes sense. And you'll get dupes over time, because on the limited banner, when you're wishing for them, it is a 50-50 whether you get this character or any of these, if that makes sense. So you'll get copies over time anyways. One little tip for summoning I recommend is, Kuro Games is very generous with their standard pools and pools in general. What I mean is down here at the bottom of the menu, I keep pointing the wrong way, there's this little letter thing. If you click it, you will have a bunch of rewards that the game company just kind of gives out. So you have a lot of rewards here. As you can see, there's a lot of pulls. There's a 10 pull just for an apology. There's a bunch of stuff. Here's a limited 10 pull. One thing I'll say, and one thing to consider, I'm not going to tell you to do it, it's up to you, is if you get your choice or your pulls early, the banner will go away. On the random one, the random 50 pull one, if you get it early, it won't go away. But on the 80 pulls to select a 5 cost, if you get it early, the banner will go away. So you'll have extra summons. You can keep pulling on this banner to get more of a variety of a pool of units. Or what I did is, these are the same currency, right, to get on the weapon banner. I pulled for the sword. I got very lucky. I got the sword in about 20 pulls. I would recommend going for this banner only in certain situations, right? The only situations I would recommend doing this is if you use sword characters or pistol characters. Why is that? Because these weapons give crit. These weapons give attack. So the sword and the pistol have higher value than the other weapons. Now, am I going to sweat it that much? No, we're filthy casuals. But if you are using a sword or pistol character and you really like them, I would recommend to go for it. Now, you've just done your summons. Summons if you're liking, maybe they're not to their liking. One thing I will say, especially for filthy casuals, is whether a unit is yellow, right, these two units, or purple, like these units. Don't worry about it too much. I don't know if Kuro Games plans on releasing more 4 cost or purple units, but as of right now, all of these purple units are basically as good as 5 cost or 5-star, or as good as any of the standard banner units. Like Chixia, a lot of people sleep on her, but they don't know if you get multiple copies, which is reasonable to do because they're more common, her ult will always critical hit on every single hit, which is kind of crazy. It basically doubles the damage of her ult, infinitely so. It makes her easier to build. You don't have to build crit rate, you just build a straight crit damage. Yang Yang, she's pulls units together. History shows in Genshin Impact, one of the most broken characters for a long time was Venti. Guess what he did? All he did was pull units into one spot. Dan Jin, one of the most fun units in the whole game. She has a dual wields that just hurts herself to deal more damage. That's crazy. So I would say as a filthy casual, give the units a shot. And don't be afraid to build. I know it's a team of 3, but don't be afraid to build multiple teams, because right here at the Tower of Adversity, you're going to need multiple teams. The more teams, the better for this. So yeah. So here, I'm going to get kind of into the big no-nos. Slash, it's your account, do whatever you want. So what materials to save? So there's not that many materials you need to worry about saving, right? So the big ones you need to worry about: asteroid. You want to save this to use for your limited pools. Now, if you want to do refresh, sure, why not? You don't have that much time to play, you want to play a little bit more, you want to boost your progress, you're a filthy casual who's going to tell you what to do. That's fine. Yeah, do whatever you want. I would recommend saving, but hey, it's your account. Now this one, premium tuners. This one is going to be your biggest luxury source, rarest source. This one is the most pain in the ass resource to get, right? Now, to my knowledge, there's only one way to get it, right? The game will give you some just randomly for random things, but it's not like a consistent farming way to do it, or like a consistent way to get it over and over again. The only way to consistently get that material is from Tacit Field. Now, depending on what your union level is, right here, I'm union level 41, so my phase is at rank 5. What that means is because I hit that 10 level milestone, my world progressed further to where all the mobs around the world level up further, and all of my dungeons, I guess you can call them, all my challenges progress a little bit further to where it'll be harder, but it gives better rewards, right? So that's why most people don't farm Tacit Fields in the beginning, especially even at my level, at level 40, because it's just, you get so little of these, right? Now, what do they do? So when you're leveling up Echoes, let me go to Echoes. Let me go to one where I don't mind burning. Go to this guy, right? This is crazy when I want to level up. So if I go to upgrade it, right, you need to use your steel tubes, which as you can see, I am out. You would level it up. Every 5 levels, you can tune. What does tuning do? It unlocks these substats, as you can see. And once you hit these milestones, you click this option up there, and there'll be an option to tune. And it'll give you a random substat. It could be one of like 20 different options. The general rule of thumb right? Because you're casual, you're going to be even more limited on these resources. It's recommended to where you do one at a time, right? So when you're leveling up here, don't just mag dump all of your tubes, right? And do it all the way to 25. Level it up to level 5, go to tune it, and you see the first line, energy regen. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna put this on Chixia, she wants to ult a lot, I'm down. So I leveled it up to 10. I saw crit damage. I was like, holy crap, this one's a god roll. So I tuned it, well, once I get enough materials, I'm gonna take it to 15. I'm gonna tune. If it's defense, I might stop, I might keep going, right? That's debatable. But if you, on this first line, don't get anything good, it's not even worth it, right? So, if it's trash on the first 2 rolls, you don't get perfect rolls on the first 2 rolls, the general rule of thumb is to just stop entirely. So first roll, it's trash, throw it away. First roll, first tune, it's good, go for the second tune. Second tune's trash, throw it away. Third tune and on, it's debatable, right? That's just to manage your resource spending so that way you don't run out. Okay, cool. Now, I will say, this isn't another tip of mine. If you see a half decent piece like this, especially in the beginning, I kind of YOLO'd and I was like, this one's godlike. Ignore this one. But I was like, this one's half decent. Oh, I rolled defense. I don't care. I'm gonna keep dumping. And I did the same thing. This piece is stupid. But I did the same thing. See this one's first 2 lines where I'm like, it's decent, whatever. I'm just gonna dump the rest. I don't care. And it was defense, whatever. But the main reason I did that is to get plus 25 pieces. And I did that for all my main 3 units. Because I wanted to get a full playable set on at least my main 3 units. So that way I could kill things faster. I could spend less time playing, having to do like small tasks. Because I just didn't have enough time if I was going to sit there and fight. Alright, we're back. Kid started crying, so I stepped away, came back, rewatched the video so I could figure out where the fuck we were at. Yeah, I was talking about echoes. As you saw, I mag dumped. Do I care? No. Do I regret it? No. So if any of you were thinking about it, I can tell you from personal experience, I do not regret doing that. Because guess what? You can always just farm task fields. Who gives a fuck? I don't care if it's main max. I don't care if I hit level 50 and I don't have the mats to fully max all of my characters. I'll just go farm it that day, right? Me as a person, I prefer progress now versus progress later. Because if it's progress now, it'll carry me to get to progress later. So this is another tip. This kind of leads into the next tip. This one's kind of for both casuals and hardcore players. Is to build your account horizontally, don't build vertically. What do I mean by that? So this is one thing I see people do all the time, and this is what usually leads to people getting like stuck in like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star. They'll get stuck. What they get stuck on is what they're farming. What are you using your wave plates on? What are you doing? Are you going to go farm experience? Are you going to go farm bosses to upgrade the limit to your character's level? Are you going to go farm materials to upgrade your character's skills? So what I mean by build horizontally, right, is to level your character to the current limit that you can build. Upgrade their weapon. Obviously, I need to work on this weapon. Upgrade your echoes on top of upgrading your skills, right? So don't just build, oh, I can't be very good echo upgrading yet, so I'm just going to focus all in on their skill upgrades. And then once this is fully maxed, then I'll go back to echoes. I'm gonna be very careful with how I say this. The big one I see people having problems with is whether to upgrade their echoes or would have been artifacts in Genshin versus their skills. Now, I will say it is very time consuming to upgrade enough mats to upgrade all of these materials. Do you know how long it took me to get enough mats to upgrade all of these to 6 and unlock all of these? It took me a whole week, right? And that's not including these that I can do, but I'm not going to just yet because I can't farm yellow ones consistently. I'm doing the wave plate ones. Let me show you. Here, we'll do this one. Even though it shows I can get a yellow upgrade material for sand wall, right? Doesn't mean I'm going to get it. Most of the time, I get blue or green, and I have to synthesize them, which is like fuse them together to make a purple, and I have to fuse them purple together to make a yellow. It is not very efficient. It takes you a lot of time. Getting these upgrades at the very top, which is 4% attack, that's very nice, but I'll be honest, it's very minimal. I see a lot of people where they will all in echo or these fortes, their skill levels, but they won't upgrade their echoes. And so what ends up happening is, sure, you got that 4% attack, but you could be missing all of those bonuses right here, right? Now this piece is okay, it's not the best. Heavy attack damage bonus, Encore barely uses for heavy attack, right? Defense, flat defense, whatever. But that's still a lot of stats. Let me show you the difference between this and a non-upgraded version, right? That people who are still leveling upgrades. 6% versus 30%, right? Versus their echoes, the time they spent farming the materials to upgrade their echoes, they use here in their forte to get 4% more attack. You see what I mean? But on the other hand, right? Benefit of the doubt, reach the other side. Let's say instead of getting this, I'm always getting this. I'm super unlucky. I always get this, right? This is what my echoes look like. So instead of farming echoes or materials upgrade echoes, I'm farming stuff to upgrade forte. Because it's guaranteed improvements. That's the difference. Upgrading fortes is guaranteed improvements. Upgrading echoes is not. Oh, I got a message. I was in Discord still. Yes, it's guaranteed, but you're missing a lot of stats on echoes. So that's why I say build horizontally. So that way you can keep moving improvements in every area and you're more balanced. Versus you go to be like, why is my account stupid? You go and you're like, Tectone, Gacha Smack, Mr. Pokey, can you look at my account? Please help me. And they do a account review on your account and they're like, what is wrong with your account? Why are all your echoes fucking plus 10, plus 15, plus 5, plus 0? What is happening here? Yeah, so like, for example, my rover. Let's just use this for an example, right? This is probably if you're level 30, is probably what your character looks like. Level 4 sills, some echoes upgraded. Your character will look like this. 194 crit damage, no crit rate, some stats, versus a character with echoes. I know they have forte, but it won't show on the stat sheet that much. Versus this, a lot more balance, right? Is it game breaking? Is it top tier? No, my Anchor has no crit damage. Sure, it says 163, but base crit damage is 150. I've only gotten one roll in crit damage and a lot of crit rate. But she smacks, and she smacks hard, and she works, and I can do hologram bosses decently. Amazingly? No, but decently. Yeah, that I feel like I beat a dead horse with that point. Build horizontally, don't build vertically. Okay, let me check my notes. So, I'm gonna go over two more things. The video's running very long, so we're gonna run over two more things, and I'm gonna go to bed. Oh my god, please stop messaging me on Discord. Okay, last two things. So one, it's a quick thing, dailies, right? So again, so with your wave plates, right? There's a couple things you could farm. So you can get your skill upgrades, you can do Tacit Field to farm the premium tuners, or you can just get echoes. Let me see, hologram boss, or you can fight actual bosses to get these materials. I don't think I've really shown, but that material is used to ascend your character. So right here you see Encore's level cap is 70. You need that material to raise the level cap of your character, right? So right now I could be farming to save up to where I can upgrade it. As soon as I hit level 50, I can break through. Now, here's my recommendation on that. I started farming materials to upgrade all of my characters' level caps as soon as I broke through. I say a good level to start farming that is 5 levels before you hit the cap, right? So I started farming at 35, and then once I got to level 40 and I hit, that day that I used my wave plates, I was able to get the rest of my materials I needed. So I'm gonna say that's a good benchmark to know when to start pre-farming, is what it's called. Farming before something's actually out or like you have access to. 5 levels is a general good rule of thumb. Obviously, later on in the game, it's going to take you longer to get levels. Like right now, for me, it's very slow to level up. But at the same time, the materials you need is a lot more, right? So it balances out. So I say start pre-farming 5 levels before. Anything before that, I'd say work on anything you need to that will get you upgrades now. So that is my personal mental state of upgrades now are better than upgrades later. Why is that? Because with upgrades now, I can clear more content, I can get more asteroids, I can do stuff faster to where I'm a casual, I don't have the time to min-max and save for later on and get the perfect gameplay, the perfect account. I don't, right? So I need something functioning now so I can play the game. Now, what I would recommend using your wave plays on. Let's go here. So one thing to keep in mind, shell credits, it's very bland, it's very stupid, but it's very necessary, right? Because later on, most of you may be 20s or 30s by the time I'm making this video, you'll need shell credits later on. These experiences, I've never really needed them, but farm it if you need it, right? It's very, in Wuthering Waves, wave plates are a very at need basis, right? So how I've been balancing is if I've ascended and I have a higher limit, then I farm my weapon and skill materials, right? These I pre-farm them and then we're good, right? Weekly challenges, I do my weekly challenges depending on how this video ages, right? We're very recently released, so most people don't have a stock of these. So I'd say every week, make sure you're farming these. Farm the one that your character needs. How do you find out the character needs that? You go to your skills, and I just go off this top row. As you can see, you'll see it. Needs Scar for Encore, right? Or Verena, she needs the bell, right? Make sure you're farming your weeklies. I will say, to be on this video ages, in Honkai Star Rail, at current Honkai Star Rail, most Honkai Star Rail players have about 1,000 of each of them, right? So I'd say farm, but if you're starting to hit like you have a stock of 20 of them, I would say wait. Just keep in mind, sure you only have 3 tries, but it's kind of a bait. Just keep in mind it still uses weight plates. So if you have a surplus of them, it's reasonable for you to slow down or stop entirely until you need to start farming them again. So tacit fields is up for debate, and I'm going to give you a hot take. People are not going to like this, I'll be real. But my opinion on tacit fields is Genshin Impact and Honkai, you have to wait till almost very end game to even get yellow stuff. In tacit fields and Wuthering Waves, you can get yellows by time you're level 30 union level, basically, depending on your database level too. I'm gonna give a hot take. If you've done your weeklies and you've pre-farmed and you've maxed this out, sure you can pre-farm your skill materials too. That's one option. But I would recommend farming tacit fields to where you can at least get all the units you want to play to full plus 25 echoes. Now, keep in mind, right? If I fed this piece into, say, this piece, right, with no upgrades, I fed a fully upgraded piece into an unupgraded piece, you don't get all the materials back, but you get a decent amount of them back. So let's just remove this, and I'm going to unlock it, and let's be very careful. Just be very careful. Please give me the option. Yes. It's going to warn me, right, about this. Now, if I hit confirm, it's going to give me some materials back. Am I going to hit confirm to show y'all? No, I'm not wasting that echo. But just for some perspective, you will get like, I think like 60 or 70% of the materials back and almost like no turners. But that feeds into my mentality of upgrades now are better than upgrades later. Now, I am going to give you one more tip, and then we're going to move into the flow state of the game and how your leveling is going to go up to what I know, which is level 40, 50, right? And this is going to be for casuals. But this is my last tip. So data bank, right? We're going to cover data bank real quick. So for those who don't know, data bank, most of you will, maybe you'll be like back here or something. As you can see, if you click this down arrow where highest drop rate is, right there, it'll show you what the colors that you can get as you're walking around, right? But as you go to a higher level, as you can see, that rate changes. Boom, boom, boom. Till eventually, so 18 is the highest you can get at level 30. We're at a 50-50 chance to get a 4-star or a 5-star. Enhanced drop rate is the rate that it'll drop from boss monsters. Base drop rate is the chance you'll get an echo from any other monster. Keep in mind, these are not additive, right? This is, you have a 10% chance when you're fighting bosses to where it just won't drop an echo at all, versus you have a 20% chance when fighting any other monster to get an echo. And then you have to beat a 50-50. Farming echoes at level 30 to 40 is a pain in the ass, I'll be real. At my current level 40, databank 20, when I fight boss monsters, I have a 100% chance to get a drop, and I have a 80-20% chance on the rarities. 20% chance still for any other mob. So, why is that important? So there's a debate going on right now between whether you should go 4-4-1-1-1 or 4-3-1-1-1. Now what that means, right? This is a fight between the hardcore and the casual players. Getting the right main stat way the fuck up there where my mouse is, fusion damage with a fusion set is a pain in the ass. I'm going to show you. Look at all of these ones. This one, see, look, it matches, right? Then boom, you got arrow damage on healing set. You got havoc damage on random sets. You got Spectro on Glacial. You got Glacial on Spectro. You got Spectro on Electro. You got all sorts of weird hunk of junk, right? So the debate is, right, you have basically 100% chance to get a 4 cost versus 3 costs. It's very up in the air. Now 1 cost, bada bing bada boom, they're very easy to farm because there's less options, if that makes sense. 3 costs, you can get like any element. 1 cost, you can only get attack, defense, HP. So because 4 and 1 costs are easier to farm, for casual players, it is recommended that you run a 4-4-1-1-1 set, if that makes sense. Now, this only works for certain sets that give certain set effects, right? I think it's Havoc and Electro, where they have different 4 costs, right? See, Thundering and Tempest. Havoc, you got Crownless, or Dreamless and Crownless, 2 different 4 costs. But for Fire, we only got 1. Sucks to suck. For us, I guess. But if you're running a Thunder team or Havoc team, it is recommended if you're a filthy casual to run 4-4-1-1-1. Because it's just easier to farm. You don't have the time to farm 3 costs. I'm sorry. I know. I'm suffering through it too. Like, this is really all I got. I can't even farm for any, look, arrow damage salamanders. I get it. I'm here with you. I got a fucking Havoc bird on a fusion set. It's crazy. That being said, I got very lucky with my initial echoes. Most of you will not. So that is that. Now, my last tip for databank, right? I recommend this is done when you hit databank 15, when you just hit union level 30. On right here. Oop, right there. On this side, right here, if you, okay, so to level up the databank in general, you have to find a new echo and a new rarity, right? So you see current progress, rarity 2 is green, 3 is blue, 4 is purple, 5 is yellow, right? I found yellow for every single unit, hence why I'm databank 20. But if you're missing rarity progress and you hit track right here in the bottom right, and you hit detect right here, it'll start navigating you to every single thing. This is kind of sweaty in the sweaty category. You have to sit there and go explore and farm. I have another recommendation for you, right? If you unlock data bank 15, right? So you can't do this before data bank 15 to my knowledge. I don't know, I haven't been able to check. I need to make a new account to go check this. And I made a previous video about this. If you go here to the very bottom option, you can merge to auto select. You can merge lower rarity echoes that you might have farmed when you were a lower level. You merge it, boom, all those purples turned into a yellow. And this works with greens. Oh, this is a good one, so I'm gonna lock it. It works for greens, you turn them into yellows. Blues, you turn them into yellows. Purples, you turn them into yellows. So one hidden side effect about this is because when you do this, it doesn't just give you like one of these back or something like that, something crazy. It gives you a completely random echo. You know what that means? If you keep doing this, you're gonna find, you're gonna find echoes you haven't seen before. And this is also another way you can farm, guess what? 3 costs, right? So this is a quick way to level up your data bank once you hit data bank 15, because you're going to discover a lot of 1 and 3 cost echoes that you don't have, and it's going to level up. Let me make sure these aren't any I care about. Nope. Oh, wait. This one I care about. This one I don't. Okay, cool. I merge it. If it's a new echo, it'll say it here, right? That's just saying I merged, right? If it's a new echo, it'll be like right here, somewhere right here. It'll be like a little yellow tag. It'll say new. That lets you know it made you progress in your data bank, right? So that's a little trick to level up your data bank quick and easy, so you don't have to walk around searching for the 1 and 3 costs that you don't have. Okay, we beat a dead horse very hard. So we're gonna get into the last thing. It is how your progress is going to go by each level. So data bank or union level, right? I'm talking about right here. 0 to 20 is going to be a whole lot of just doing quests, walking around. You're going to level up naturally, right? I know the main story sucks up until a certain point. Usually the point it starts getting good is the level 14 quest, and the level 20 quest is when the story starts picking up, right? Because that's through some world building. But up to that point, I wouldn't worry too much on what you're using your wave plates on. Just make sure you're using them as soon as you get the chance to, and just enjoy yourself, play the game, learn the world. 20 to 30, it starts slowing down a little bit, right? But you can still get there. It'll probably take less than a week, right? Keep playing, doing quests, keep walking around, keep discovering things, and you'll level up naturally. Now, the part for casuals where a lot of people start asking questions is 30 to 40, right? That's when it's going to take a week, 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks if you're really slow. So this is where I'm going to give you all a hot take. If you open your map and you see right here, if you press plus, you're going to notice something. You can refresh with asteroids. There's another option. You can refresh with these like weird cube Cheeto Puffs, right? And by this point, Wuthering Waves and Coro Games has given every player about 60 Cheeto Puffs, probably, give or take. Probably 60 with Battle Pass, probably like 40 without Battle Pass. I used all my Cheeto Puffs. And this is why I saved this point kind of for last. I think progress sooner is better than progress later, right? So you might be like, what did you use your Cheeto Puffs on? I used it on fucking Tacit Field. I'm a filthy casual. Sue me. I don't give a fuck. I want my gear to be maxed out. I don't want to wait for fucking 2 months to start farming gear. I don't give a fuck. I used all my Cheeto Puffs. Sue me. Yes, I'm a filthy casual. That's how I'm level 41. I used my Cheeto Puffs when I was level 30. And now I'm 41. And now my count's juiced the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. Yes, that's why I'm level 41 and I didn't do any exploration. Because guess what? We're filthy casuals. We don't have time to walk around and loot every single fucking chest. Alright? I used my dust. I hit level 41. And now I can go fight Tacit Field and die to him a million times and make a video called Memphis is a child murderer because he pissed me off. Fuck you. Sue me. Subscribe. Fuck you. See y'all later.